The hand grenade has played a pivotal role in the modern day battlefield since World War I. In this episode of Infantryman's Guide, we're going to be focusing on the history, as well as identification of friendly and enemy hand grenades. We'll also be focusing on the M67 fragmentation grenade, which is heavily used by the United States, as well as many NATO allies. Thanks for watching. Let's spend a few minutes talking about the history of the modern hand grenade pertaining to the U.S. military. So when the U.S. Expeditionary Force first went into France, they were not adequately supplied with hand grenades, and we subsequently received numerous grenades from both the British and the French. So one of the most common French designs was the French F1 grenade, as well as the British Mills bomb. We also had our own American-made Mark I design. My understanding is that these were not very reliable. However, going into World War II, we had the Mark II grenade, which is affectionately known as the pineapple grenade for obvious reasons. But this would serve well in the U.S. military and would go all the way into the Vietnam War because so many were produced during World War II. Entering service during the Korean era was the M26, later designated the M61, most affectionately referred to as the lemon grenade, and these would serve alongside leftover stockpiles of the Mark II grenade. During the Vietnam War, this was the M26 and later M61 would also be replaced by the M67 fragmentation grenade that we still use today. Let's talk about threat grenades. So what are the grenades that we're likely to face on the modern day battlefield? So if we can back up a little bit, talk about history. So typically in World War II, when we faced enemy hand grenades, these are stick grenades from the Germans, both in World War I and World War II, widely used by the Germans. These were offensive hand grenades, mainly designed to give a concussive blast, but they did have a fragmentation sleeve that could be added to the hand grenade to increase its lethality in terms of fragmentation effects. The World War II era RGD-33 was a Russian stick grenade, very similar in design as the World War II German stick grenades, in that it was designed to accept a fragmentation sleeve over it depending on what the grenade's intended purpose was going to be used for. The Russian F1 grenade was developed in 1939 and is still widely used today. It's very similar in appearance to the old French F1 grenade, and as you can see by its design, it's intended to maximize fragmentation. Also developed by the Russians in 1942 in an effort to streamline production of grenades was the RG-42. Much more simplified to increase production during the war, but this type of grenade would see long continued service in many former Warsaw Pact countries. The next grenade is the RGD-5, which is a post-World War II Soviet-era anti-personnel fragmentation grenade. The RGD-5 was accepted into Soviet service in 1954 and still continues to see widespread use all over the world. The last threat grenade I'm going to talk about are Chi-Com stick grenades, such as the Type 67 and its similar derivatives. Heavily used by our enemies during the Vietnam War, these may still be prevalent in certain parts of the world. Two other threat grenades that I want to highlight are high explosive anti-tank grenades. And I have two examples here. First introduced in 1943 is the RPG-43, and pretty much same exact design as the later model RKG-3, which is very common in Iraq, but same concept. The pin is pulled, the grenade is thrown at its intended target, which is usually an armored vehicle. And then the parachute deploys and the anti-tank grenade falls towards its target, lands on it, and then has a shape charge that hits the intended target. So these were very common in Iraq, used against coalition forces, so you might see them on the modern day battlefield. The next type of grenades I'm going to talk about are smoke grenades and special purpose grenades. So the first ones I'm going to talk about are the smoke grenades here on the right hand side. First one is the AN-M8HC White Smoke, and this is designed to burn for 25 to 70 seconds, producing a dense cloud of white smoke. It has a M201A1 igniting fuse with a 1.2 to 2 second time delay. The next one is the M18 Color Smoke, and these grenades produce a dense cloud of colored smoke for signaling and screening. It's available in 4 colors: red, green, yellow, and violet. Last smoke grenade I'm going to talk about is the M34 WP smoke grenade. This is a replica of one, and this is a white phosphorus grenade. I do not believe that these are still in service. However, they were in U.S. inventory and used in as recently as Desert Storm. Next grenade I'm going to talk about is the ABC M7A3 Riot Control Grenade. It contains 7.5 ounces of burning mixture and a 4.5 ounces of pelletized CS agent. The grenade produces a cloud of irritant agent for 15 to 35 seconds. It has a M201A1 igniting fuse with a 1.2 to 2 second delay. Two other hand grenades that I do not have laid out here but are worth mentioning. The first one is the MK3A2 Concussion Offensive Hand Grenade. This is designed to produce casualties during close combat while minimizing danger to friendly personnel. The grenade is used for its concussion effects in enclosed areas. The shock wave or overpressure produced by this grenade when used in these enclosed areas is greater than those produced by fragmentation grenades. It is therefore very effective against enemy soldiers located in bunkers, buildings, and fortified areas. The M84 diversionary grenade is a non-lethal stun grenade intended to confuse, disorient, and momentarily distract a potential threat. This type of grenade is ideal for missions such as hostage rescue. The next two grenades I'm going to talk about are special purpose grenades. The first one is the AN M14 TH3 Incendiary Hand Grenade. This grenade is used to destroy equipment such as engine blocks, artillery pieces, mortar tubes, munitions, and to start fires. The next special purpose grenade I'm going to talk about is the M69 Practice Grenade. It has a blue body and is often referred to as such. It has a replaceable fuse assembly, and this is what guys use to practice throwing M67 fragmentation grenades.
Get out!
Before we get to start talking specifically about the M67 fragmentation grenade, I want to address some common characteristics of hand grenades. Hand grenades are generally short range, and the average individual can throw a hand grenade approximately 30 to 40 meters. Hand grenades have a small effective casualty radius. This is defined as a radius around the point of detonation where a minimum of 50% of personnel exposed into that area become casualties. Casualty-producing grenades such as the M67 fragmentation grenade have a 15-meter effective casualty radius. Hand grenades have a delay element in the fuse permitting the user to find cover while employing the grenade. These times vary with the type of grenade being used. The first part of the grenade is the body. This part of the grenade functions as a container and may be made of metal, fiber, or plastic. The body also provides fragmentation in some grenades. Next is a filler. This part is chemical or explosive substance contained inside the body. The filler gives the grenade its explosive characteristics and determines its function. The last is the fuse assembly. This part is the heart of the grenade. It causes the grenade to function by a means of a chain reaction through pyrotechnic, mechanical, or electrical means. Next, let's talk about hand grenade safeties. Hand grenades typically consist of the following safeties. The first is a safety clip, and is found on all U.S. casualty-producing hand grenades. It serves to hold the safety lever to the fuse assembly. The safety clip is the first safety to be removed and is also known as the thumb clip. Starting around approximately 2015, the M67 received an additional safety device referred to as the confidence clip. This device helps keep the grenade pin secured to the grenade to add confidence in the individual infantryman who may fear that the pin could make its way out of the fuse or inadvertently be pulled. The addition of the confidence clip was to address the practice of some individuals who lack trust in the grenades and would often wrap tape around the grenade's fuse assembly. In order to remove the pin out of the confidence clip, the thrower merely needs to rotate the pin prior to pulling it out. The safety pin, which is the iconic symbol of every hand grenade, functions to hold the safety lever, which is also referred to as a spoon, onto the fuse assembly. Once the safety pin is pulled, the grenade is ready to be thrown. Note that the mere pulling of the pin does not activate the grenade's fuse, however. The last safety device is the safety lever, aka the spoon. This is the very last safety device on the grenade. Once the safety clip is removed and the safety pin is pulled, the safety lever must be held in place by the thrower. Once the grenade is thrown, the striker located on the top of the fuse assembly will move forward, pushing the safety lever away from the grenade body. The striker will then detonate or ignite the primer. Now this is when your countdown begins. Typically, a grenade is tossed at a target with the safety lever naturally being released by the simple act of throwing the grenade. However, the situation arises in which having a 4 or 5 second delay is not ideal for the tactical situation. There's a technique known as cooking off the grenade. This is an advanced technique that should only be practiced by trained, competent, and experienced personnel. Cooking off a grenade is a simple act of the thrower deliberately releasing the safety lever but delaying his throw of the grenade at its intended target in order to reduce the amount of dwell time the grenade is on target prior to exploding. The technique gives the enemy less time to react to the grenade hitting on or near them. An example of a time where cooking off a grenade might be beneficial is in close quarters battle, where the threat of the enemy being able to react to the grenade or potentially throw your own grenade back at you is present. The primary casualty producing hand grenade in the US military is the M67 fragmentation grenade, often nicknamed the baseball grenade due to its shape. It contains 6.5 ounces of composition B explosives and uses the M213 detonation fuse with a 4 to 5 second time delay. The M67 weighs 14 ounces, and the average Marine or soldier can throw it approximately 35 meters. It has a 5 meter kill radius and an effective casualty radius of 15 meters. This is just one of many reasons why we keep dispersion in combat formations. Upon receiving your M67 grenade, it's important to first inspect them prior to use. The grenades are contained inside individual shipping canisters inside a wooden crate. Remove the tape from the top cover of the shipping canister and look down into it. If the hand grenade is upside down, return the canister to the issuing person. Ensure all required safeties are properly attached to the hand grenade. Nothing should be missing. Check the hand grenade for rust on the body or the fuse. Also check for holes on the body and the fuse. If there are any of these discrepancies that are present, return the grenade to the issuing person. If the hand grenade seems to be in order, remove the grenade carefully from the canister and make a visual check for proper fitting of the safety pins. Then properly secure the grenade into your grenade pouch. Grenades should be kept inside a pouch that's specifically designed to carry those type of grenades. Do not hang grenades by their safety levers off your gear, or place them in random pouches. This is unsafe and a good way to lose your grenade during a movement. Next, let's talk about deploying the grenade. There are two methods for gripping the M67 fragmentation grenade, depending on whether the thrower is right or left-handed. Safety and throwing efficiency are obtained when the grenade is held in the throwing hand with the safety lever placed between the first and second joint of the thumb. The throwing hand should always maintain a firm C-clamp around the body of the grenade, with the thumb maintaining continuous contact between the safety lever and the grenade body. For a right-handed thrower, the grenade is held upright with the pull ring away from the palm of the throwing hand so that it can be easily removed by the index finger or middle finger of the left hand. For the left-handed thrower, the grenade is inverted with the fingers and the thumb of the throwing hand positioned in the same manner as by the right-handed person. The left-handed personnel must invert the grenade so that the pull ring may be safely removed by the index finger or middle finger of the right hand. Since few Marines and soldiers throw in the same manner, it is difficult to establish firm rules or techniques for throwing hand grenades. How accurately a grenade can be thrown is more important than how it is thrown. However, a firm rule in minimizing exposure time to the enemy while observing your target, as a rule no more than 2 seconds should be spent estimating range. The following are prescribed methods of grenade throwing. Number 1. Quickly observe the target and estimate the distance between the throwing position and the target area. Number 2. Properly grip the grenade in the throwing hand and remove the safety clip. Number 3. Grasp the pull ring with the index or middle finger of your non-throwing hand. To remove the safety pin, twist and pull. If the tactical situation permits, observe the safety pin's removal. Number 4. Quickly look at the target and throw the grenade using an overhand method so that the grenade arcs, landing on or near your target. Number 5. Allow the motion of your throwing arm to continue naturally once the grenade is released. This follow-through improves distance and accuracy and relieves the strain on your throwing arm. Before taking cover, ensure that the grenade has cleared your position. Number 6. There may be times where underhanded or sidearm throws become necessary in combat. These throws may be practiced with training grenades. However, in a training environment, live fragmentation grenades must be thrown overhand. Now let's talk about throwing positions. In training, throwing positions are used for uniformity and control to familiarize Marines and soldiers with the proper manner of throwing grenades in combat if the situation gives you a choice. First position we're going to talk about is a standing position. This position is the most desirable and natural one from which to throw a grenade. Standing position is normally used when occupying a fighting position or during operations in fortified positions or in urban terrain. Throwing from this position is accomplished in the following manner. Estimate the distance to your target and then rest your rifle on the deck within arm's reach or let it hang. With your non-throwing side facing towards the target, assume a natural stance with your weight balanced equally on both feet. Using the appropriate grip, hold the grenade high firmly against your chest. Remove the safety clip with your thumb with your non-throwing hand by raking the clip away from the grenade. Remove the safety pin by using a twisting and pulling motion away from the grenade body while maintaining a firm grip on the hand grenade. Cock the throwing arm behind your helmet with the grenade held 4 to 5 inches behind your helmet and extend your non-throwing arm towards the target. Throw the grenade with a natural motion to follow through by stepping forward as you throw. If cover is available, take a knee after you ensure that the grenade has cleared your position. If no cover is available, drop to the prone position after the grenade has cleared your position with your helmet in the direction of the grenade. Next is the kneeling position. This position is used when you have a low wall, shallow ditch, or similar cover for protection. This position reduces the distance that the grenade can be thrown. Throwing from this position is accomplished in the following manner. Estimate the distance to the target, then rest your rifle on the deck within arm's reach, or let it hang. With your non-throwing side facing towards the target, assume a kneeling position with the majority of your weight on your forward knee. Extend the opposite leg rearward and plant your foot firmly for balance. Using an appropriate grip, hold the grenade high firmly against your chest. Then, remove the safety clip. Next, remove the safety pin. Cock your throwing arm behind your helmet with the grenade held 4 to 5 inches from the helmet and extend the non-throwing arm towards the target. Throw the grenade with a natural motion and push off with your trailing foot to give added force to your throw. When the grenade is released, drop to the prone position or behind available cover with your helmet in the direction of the grenade to minimize exposure to fragmentation. Last position I'm going to talk about is the prone position. This position reduces both distance and accuracy. It is only used when the individual is pinned down by fire and is unable to rise to engage his target. Throwing from this position is accomplished in the following manner. Estimate the distance to your target, then rest your rifle on the deck within arm's reach or let it hang. Lie on your back with your body perpendicular to the grenade's intended line of flight. Hold the grenade firmly high against your chest using an appropriate grip. Remove the safety clip, followed by the safety pin. Cock the throwing arm behind the helmet with the grenade held 4 to 5 inches from the helmet and extend the non-throwing arm towards the target. Cock your right leg, or left leg for left-handed throwers, with your foot firmly braced against the ground. With your non-throwing hand, grasp any object that's capable of giving you that added leverage to increase your throwing distance. When throwing the grenade, push off with your rear foot to give added power to your throw. When the grenade is released, roll over onto your stomach and press yourself flat against the ground. Well, that's it, gentlemen. That completes this episode of Infantryman's Guide over hand grenades. If you're liking what you're seeing, don't forget to check out my channel and subscribe. I've already done several infantry-related training videos, and I plan on doing several more in the future. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment.